implementation pathway. And first and foremost, welcome. So if you're watching this video, you'll be a new client. You'll be new to the training program. There's a lot of stuff to come. It's going to be very, very fun. And let me just say this: please be ready to experience growth in all areas. To say the absolute least, this is going to be a game changer. Of every single client that I've ever worked with inside this program so far, which, hey, I'll hold my hands up. It's only been 6 or 7 people. Every single one of them, I've literally doubled, tripled, quadrupled and beyond their business, their revenue, everything in a pretty short period of time as well, like 1, 2, 3, 4 months. You know, we're going to get a lot done, and we're going to go pretty fast, as long as that's okay with you. If you want to go slow, no problem. But yeah, if it's okay with you, I do want to go fast, and I just want to get you the result as fast as possible, make you as much money as fast as possible, and really rock and roll with you. Now, to start with, in this first video, I want to give you a layout of what an ideal online course and coaching business should look like from start to finish, everything included, along with the slow but low capital requirement pathway, along with the fast but higher capital requirement pathway. Okay, now I've done both of these myself, and the elements that we'll cover below in this video are the actual ones that I've used to scale my online course and coaching business to over $10 million in revenue. Now, so not only have I done this, but it works. And I've done this multiple times now as well in a big handful of different industries. So trust me, it works. Now, by covering the below in just a second, you can start to understand what's missing from your business right now, what you haven't yet built within your business, and roughly where you are right now, and where you need to head next to actually grow your company. Okay, now first, here are the key elements of a successful online course business. Organic traffic channels, so YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff. Paid traffic channels, so YouTube ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, blah, blah, blah. Let me just get rid of this. Team structure, so reps, support reps, sales reps, appointment setters, coaches, success managers, bookkeepers, accountant, tax advisor, health and mindset coach, all of that stuff. Product structure, so, you know, front-end course, up or down sell, mastermind, lead magnets, recurring software, recurring blah, blah, blah. We just started doing this and it's working really well. Funnel structure, so whether you're doing a low-ticket auto webinar to an upsell, like let's say the Mickelson twins, mid-ticket webinar to an upsell like Cole Gordon, short form book a call webinar, John Pemberthy was doing that really well, or just a book a call funnel, you know, like Alex Becker, Sam Ovens, like we do. You know, this is the easiest by far right now anyway. Also, email structure. Now, this is where you're going to make a lot of money. This is where you are going to make a lot of money. Book a call emails, webinar emails, offers, re-offers, reminders. This is going to boost your profitability. Contingency sequences. This is going to also boost your profitability and your short breaks and so on and so forth. Lead nurture stuff. All of that good stuff. And also something that I don't see talked about very often, which is an exit plan. Now, let me tell you this. Every business can be sold. The only thing that differs is the price and the buyer. Okay, so just remember that, because you might have a small business, a small team. You might be making 20, 30, 40, 50K a month, you know, small scale. You can sell that. I know people have sold it. You know, I know quite a few people have sold. You know, I have a friend who sold a software business for 9 figures. I've got a friend who sold a small agency business for, you know, I'm not saying any names here, so I can tell you the amount, but that was like $60,000 that he sold it for, you know. So you can sell these companies, and it's important to keep this in mind. Now, all of that stuff you should have, or you should have a plan to get it all, essentially. And if you don't, that's probably why we're here, why we're working together, why you're in this training. So I can actually help you build it all, or just some parts of it that you're missing. Okay, now, first and foremost, let's cover the slow but low capital requirement pathway to basically build a profitable online course business and start making money, right? So if money is tight and you're kind of on a budget, this is the slower way, but probably the best way to go for you. And this is how I started as well. So step number one is building an organic following on the social media platform. Okay, the easiest right now is YouTube, or to be honest, TikTok is working well right now, or Instagram or whatever. And the goal here is to build a big enough audience that you can then sell a course into. Now, I actually did this using Twitter. So I built a small but pretty cult-like following on there. And people actually began asking me for help. People started messaging me saying, "Well, how are you doing this? How are you doing that? Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that?" I didn't even pitch anything. And people started coming to me and I just offered them a product, basically. So I started selling a £250-ish ebook. I think it was actually £150 when I started. Anyway, that's another story. So I started out with an ebook, which I then turned into a larger ebook for £495, which I then turned into an online course for £995, which I then turned into a more in-depth online course with coaching for £1.5K. And then I grew that further and added some other elements and started charging £2.8 and so on. Now, the price of the training as of right now, today, is £5,800. So it's about $7,000. And it's sold over the phone by my sales team for just a very basic call funnel structure. Now, all you need to do here is essentially put out content that resonates with your audience, make videos about whatever topic or niche that you're in, make them as high quality as you can, put them out as frequently as you can until you've built a solid, receptive audience and a following. Now, some of you going through this program will already have that built. I know that a couple of you already have, almost 1 million YouTube subscribers. You've got over 1 million Instagram followers. So you've done that. You're there already. Now, next, this is where you're at now. When you have your organic following dialed in and pumping, you'll want to either build a course or a mastermind and sell people into it, or build a lead magnet that leads to a book a call to buy a product, or run something like a long form or a short form webinar that again leads to a direct purchase, or a book a call to buy a product. Okay, now at this stage, it's time to decide on a funnel structure, one of those that we just covered, and a product or products to sell into your audience through the funnel that you build and lay out. Okay. Now, there are a few different structures here. So if your audience is small, you might even want to start out with a free course with a donate button at the end. This is working for one of my clients pretty well right now, but he's a very new client, very, very small audience. And this is kind of what we had to do because he doesn't have the audience sized yet. Or you might want to start with a weekly live webinar with a product pitch at the end. I've seen that work very well. Or you might want to build an auto webinar that leads to a book a call. Or maybe even host one of these secret VSLs on your YouTube channel, which people don't even know is a VSL. It's just basically a valuable video, but it is actually a VSL that sends traffic into just a simple book a call funnel. This is absolutely crushing it for Iman Gadzi right now, one of my friends. Now, when you've decided on all of this stuff, you've decided on a funnel structure and the product or the products that you're going to sell. Now it's sales skills time. Now I can help train and advise you on this stuff. So for example, writing and running a webinar, writing and building a VSL, building a sales script and doing sales calls and so on. Because I've done this all multiple times. Now, essentially at this stage, we just want to make sales and get money coming in, right? Things don't have to be perfect to work. Believe me on that. Again, I've done all of this. I've learned on the fly through trial and error. It's not as difficult as this seems. It's really not. So if any of this scares you, believe me, it's really not hard. It's really not hard. Now, when you've got sales coming in, the next step is product structure. Now here, you can experiment with upsells, with downsells, with a mastermind, a recurring lead magnet thing. There's a ton of ways to squeeze juice out of your leads and your customers to make your business as profitable as it can be. What we will do, we'll have a call together to discuss this when you're at this stage. I'll get an understanding of your audience, your price points, your product structures, And I'll tell you what to build and how to properly price it to maximize sales and revenue. Because again, I've done this a lot, so I know what works. Next, it's building a team time. Okay, now this is going to be slow and steady, and we're going to hire where it hurts first. Now, most likely, it's going to be support tickets that are going to be the first problem. Your inbox will be blowing up. You'll start to juggle a lot of tasks like admin, accounting, support, content, sales calls, winning webinars, everything that we've covered so far. And wherever the pain is greatest, we're going to hire someone to do it for you. The first person I ever hired was a support rep to manage our support inbox, because honestly, support was just pissing me off. Forgive my language there, but support is, God, it's just repetitive and annoying. That was the best decision of my life, and it still is to this day. And after that, the next hire that I made was a coach to help me with one-to-one coaching calls to buy back my time. And then after that, the next hire I made was a sales rep to get me off sales calls and on and on. Now, this is my team structure today as of me actually making this video. So we've got 7 sales reps full-time, 3 appointment setters full-time, sales team manager full-time, 2 coaches, a support rep, accountant, bookkeeper, mindset coach, Mark Dharma, and a personal trainer as well. And, you could say, well, hold on, does this really count as your team? But if I wasn't healthy, I wouldn't be running the business. If my mindset wasn't on point, I wouldn't be running the business. So this is 100% a part of my team, 100%. Now, with all of that done, you're going to have traffic, you're going to have products, you're going to be making sales, your team are running operations, your numbers and your finances are being taken care of, and you've bought back your time. Next, it's time to decide on the actual ultimate plan here. Okay. Are you going to keep this business for the next 5 to 10 years? Seriously. Or do you want to exit the company at some stage? This is my plan. If it's keep the business, then you should plan to grow and expand. And again, we can cover this together on the call. If it's to exit, then you need to begin fully removing yourself. Now, when it comes to exiting, you should be, in fact, you need to be completely out of the business entirely. Every task handled by someone else, and the business should have a long, solid track record of 3 to 4 years plus minimum, really. Because any less than that is going to damage the sale value because your company isn't proven yet. Okay. Now, I did say earlier you can sell any company, and that is true. So if you've only been in business for a year and it's going really well, you're very profitable, you've got a decent little team, you're making money, you can sell that. 100% you can sell it. It's just going to be a lot lower value, because it's less proven, there's less of a track record. You haven't proved to a buyer that this is a truly sustainable enterprise here. So it's going to damage the value. And with all of that done, you're done. You're done. So that is the way that you basically sell an online course. It's a bit slow, but it's low capital requirement. Next, let's talk about the faster but higher capital requirement pathway. Now, some of this stuff is the same. The difference is this time, instead of starting with building an organic traffic source, you're going to start with paid traffic, so paid ads. Now, this eliminates the weeks and months of your time spent building an audience, and it's going to bring in eyeballs from day one. But it comes with, again, a capital requirement. Now, to begin with, you'll likely want to spend at least $50 a day to get things moving, because any less than that, and it's going to take just weeks to dial in the ads in the funnel and start seeing results. My suggestion on where to start is currently YouTube ads. Now, these are the easiest to make, easiest to get to perform, and the easiest to run profitably right now. Okay, as of me making this video. Now, another suggestion I'd make for those who have the budget is not actually running your ads yourself, but hiring an agency to do it instead. Now, an agency will know what works and what doesn't, and they'll know the best targeting to use, and they'll also save you time and money as well, because instead of you spending, let's say, a month, wasting money here, trying this thing, trying that thing, messing with this, messing with that, an agency pretty much off the bat is going to know, well, this is the best targeting that's working right now, so let's do that. This is the best strategy for running ads right now. It's short, long, subtitles, no subtitles, this thing, that thing. And it's just going to save you a lot of messing around, you know. And when it comes to building a great business, this is one of the things that helps the most, really, is hiring the best people to do the best things that need to be done. But obviously they do come at a cost. So for us right now, working with AdLeg costs $6,000 a month. That's their retainer. But for us, it's worth it. You know, that's a small chunk of the pie. Saves me a lot of time, saves me a lot of headspace, and I can just focus on the business itself. So if you have the money, that's going to serve you well. Now, if you can't afford to hire an agency, look, don't worry. I ran my own ads for the first year and a half before I hired AdLeg. It is possible. It's just going to take a little bit longer, and you'll need to experiment, find what works, targeting-wise and ad promise-wise, but we can get there nonetheless, so don't even worry about that. It's not detrimental. Now, with your paid ads at the ready and being built and prepared to launch, the next thing you'll need to do is build a funnel to drive the traffic into. Now, the easiest funnel to build is a basic book a call funnel, where people click on an ad, they land on an opt-in, they give you their info, they then go to a VSL page after that when they click submit. After the VSL, well, at any time, there's a button on that page to book a call that links to the calendar and the survey. Then when they fill that out, they now go and have a call with you, and then you close them. Now that funnel is a piece of profitable pie. But you will need to sell a product that's priced at a high ticket level to make the maths work. Okay, so ideally 3K or above. Any lower than that, and you need a different funnel structure because it's going to be difficult to make the maths work. So for example, perhaps a low ticket auto webinar with an instant high ticket upsell. This is working really well for the Mickelson twins right now. And Cole Gordon as well has even started doing this as well. Now don't worry, I'll speak to you about this to help you decide which route to go. Blah, blah, blah. So that's what I'm here for. I'll help you with that. Now next, when your traffic is on and dialed in and your funnel is structured properly and it's dialed in and you're making sales and everything's profitable, the next step is product structure. Okay, so here you can experiment with upsells, downsells, mastermind, a recurring lead magnet. There's tons of ways to squeeze juice out of your leads and your customers to make your business as profitable as it can be and serve them at the highest level. Too. Because let me just say this, sometimes when a person buys a product, it creates another problem. You know, and I see this a lot with my coaching clients. They'll join me to build a funnel and ads and get it profitable. And then the next problem is, oh shit, I'm now taking 8 calls a day and I'm basically a sales rep. You know, now I need to hire a sales team. So then the next problem to solve is a sales team. Then when you've done the sales team stuff, you know, you might be 2, 3, 4x profitable. And when you scale, your profitability comes down. So then the next problem is adding on a back end, a mastermind, an upsell, a downsell to boost profitability again. So there's always like a next problem to be solved. Okay, and it's the same for your customers as well. Now again, we'll have a call together to discuss this when you're at this stage. And I'll get an understanding of everything and I'll tell you what to build and how to price it properly to do this well. God, we've messed with so much stuff, upsells, downsells, masterminds, this thing, that thing, recurring, this, blah, blah, blah. I just know what works. Now next, again, it's building a team time. Okay, so slowly and steadily, again, hiring where it hurts. And we've just covered this in the previous training, so I won't go over this again. But again, it leads back to hiring, building a team. And again, with all of that done, you're once again going to come back to this question. Do you want to keep the business and grow it and expand it, or fully remove yourself? And with that stuff conquered, yet again, you're done. So as a next step, pick a model. The slow but lower cost model, or the fast but higher cost model, or cost model. Or if you already have a model in place, then which elements of the above, of these up here, are you missing, or which can you improve on, or which is, not working as well as it should be, right? Now, in the below videos in this training, you're going to find more specific videos on each of those elements, plus some extra tips, tricks, and hacks on top too. For example, one thing that I didn't add into the steps above in these kind of steps here was email, because this is it's a part of funnel structure itself. But in other videos in this training, we're going to take a deep dive into the specifics of email. So again, coming back to all these different types that you can use for kind of cash generation, that you can use for raising show-up rates, that you can use for plugging contingency holes, all of that stuff. And we'll cover that in detail. So from here, watch through all the videos below. And then when you've gone through them, book in a call with me to cover and map out your next steps. Any questions, just ask. And then aside, let's get to work, let's get to building, and let's get to getting your results. I'll speak to you soon.